I hate to say it, but unfortunately, I may be going to prison soon. Now, I'm not sure if this is illegal or not, but if it is illegal, I'm definitely in huge trouble because I have just gotten way too many predictions right over and over and over again, and unfortunately, if that's illegal, I'm definitely getting slammed here. I will probably be spending 6-9 years in jail or more. Lock me up and throw away the key for getting too many things right, because take a look at this. Bitcoin continuing to do literally exactly what my prediction was 6 months ago. And if, let's say I did a prediction 6 months ago and it was a little bit wrong, no one will really blame me for that. Okay, well, you're off by a little bit. But for us to be that accurate, that far in advance, it's pretty cool. I mean, I have to say, it's pretty cool. And it's not like it's a huge surprise because we do this consistently. But Matt, stay humble. Don't get too ahead of yourself because everyone knows the universe would obviously make cryptocurrency crash down like 50% more if we get too cocky. So we have to be careful here. Now, don't get too cocky. You can have correct predictions, but you need to stay humble, Matt. I think that's... There we go. We'll do that. We'll stay humble. Shafuetzel says lock him up. Yo, what's up? Matt says Wolf Legend. What's up indeed? As you come into live, you're welcome to take a second to press no buttons at all. That's something you can do at any point. Even if you're not watching live, you can do that. But take a look. So what did Bitcoin do? It was under 20K. It was looking like it could fall further. Everyone was saying, oh no, what if the prediction was wrong? What if it goes below 21K and stays there? What if we see 10K or 5K and all these things flying around the internet? A lot of YouTubers, 10K, 5K, it's happening right now. And then sure enough, literally, it only took us, what, like a matter of days? And then now we're all the way back up at 21K. I'm trying to tell you, Bitcoin is literally in love with 21K. Dogecoin is in love with 5 cents as a floor price. It's not going to go too much further than that without bouncing back up again. Now, all of that considered, if we see some crazy bad news, yes, it's possible it could go significantly below that, but only could I see that happening if we see some very tragic, terrible cryptocurrency news. And I don't foresee that coming in the near future. Maybe at some point we'll see something bad again, like maybe a Mt. Gox 2.0 or maybe a Matt Gox 2.0. What even would that be? Okay, I'm curious. What's a Matt Gox? Whatever it is, it sounds really bad. We don't want any Matt Goxes 2.0. What happened last time you were live? I called you multiple times from Instagram to stop your live. What? I have no idea what you mean. You messaged me. Oh, you called me on Instagram. Yes, that's not going to work. Harshad. Nice try, buddy. Nice try. Dogecoin, Bitcoin, both up nicely today. Bitcoin up 7.77%, up 9% on the last 30 hours approximately. So a nice sized gainer today for Bitcoin, going back up to 21K. It's attracted to that number. Even Ethereum, a nice day, up to 1,736. We are seeing also previous crypto picks doing well as a result of this, which is obviously always fun. It's always entertaining when we have small cap cryptos that are spiking for us, and we're seeing multiple times bigger X's, or at least multiple times bigger percentages than we are seeing with the top cryptos. That's why I love small market cap coins if you can find the right opportunities. Dogecoin up nicely today. Polkadot up nicely today. Solana only 2%. Sucks for you, Solana. What do you think you're doing, buddy? Then Tether, of course, going up a staggering 0.00%. It's all the way up to $1. So impressive stuff there. If you invested in that, then you would be rich right now at exactly the same amount that you were rich before you started. So if, let's just say you're a billionaire, right? And you invest all of your money into Tether, you will literally become a billionaire from doing that. That's how strong of an opportunity Tether is. You will become a billionaire if you're already a billionaire by investing in Tether. Incredible, groundbreaking stuff. You can go do that right now and get rich from Tether. Cryptopolis. Actually, wait, no, you'd lose 9%. Dang it. Okay, that's wrong. So you'd actually be worth 910 million if you held your money in Tether as a billionaire for a year. Oh gosh, that's so bad. That's so bad. Why would you do that? Dogecoin is such a fun coin. To the moon, says Jesse. I like the sound of that. As all the viewers come in, welcome to the live. We have something very interesting to talk about right now. You may have seen the title. Time to go all in very quickly. What am I referring to? Well, it's very simple. There's a man right now who's going all in very quickly. Take a look at this. MicroStrategy just filed. Let me just... First of all, maybe I should add some music to like really hit this home exactly what this man is doing, because okay, I won't give my opinion yet until I let the music start, because we really need some dramatic music to go with this. I mean, it wouldn't be right any other way. If I don't ever do enough dramatic music, then of course I should be fired from my position as a YouTuber by Susan Wojcicki herself. Susan, come fire me. Cancel me from the YouTube platform if I don't do enough music. I deserve it. We need to make sure we have all the drama in there. Here we go. So this is insane. I mean, this is truly a next level of believing in a good way. You know, it's not bad. Take a look at this. Michael Saylor. Yeah, I know it's the roast music. Sue me. What are you gonna do? MicroStrategy files to sell 500 million of stock to fund Bitcoin purchases. So not only is he all in already, with huge portions of the company's investing. On top of that, they also were margin called recently, had to pay a decent amount of money into the system there. Now, MicroStrategy filing to sell $500 million of stock. So they're literally shedding stock to purchase BTC instead. That is how much Michael Saylor believes in this right now. If this is not considered going all in, I don't know what the heck is. Selling that much of your stock and putting it into Bitcoin, you really truly have to be a long-term believer, and Michael Saylor certainly is. Now the question is, will he be right or not? And the answer is, during the next bull run, Michael Saylor will probably look like one of the biggest geniuses in the world. El Salvador, who's getting mocked right now by the media. The media loves it, sitting there in their mansions on their high horses. They think they're better than all of us. The media thinks they're so cool and so smart and elegant, and they're the next level of class, and everyone else is beneath them. Very annoying and frustrating. That's why no one likes the media. And yet, they continue to write silly, dumb articles about El Salvador failed their Bitcoin experiment. El Salvador, not what expected with Bitcoin. You see that all the time, when in reality, a lot of people in El Salvador actually enjoyed the Bitcoin experience and are still enjoying it. The only reason why there was some negative connotation to that is because, yes, BTC did go down after they started really adopting it. And so as a result, a lot of people looked at that and said, oh, boom, El Salvador made the wrong decision. But I think that's extremely short-sighted, because the truth is, you have to look at this long term. In 3 years, will people look at El Salvador as the most genius country of all time? Or, well, maybe, of all time, that's pretty tough grounds to stand upon. But will they look at El Salvador as a very smart country? Perhaps they got a degree from Harvard itself, which I guess is meaningless now too. See, there's no examples here. What's smart? Harvard's pointless now. Well, what do you, if you got a degree from Harvard like 10 years ago, 20 years ago, okay, that means something. Now though, people go to Harvard, what does it mean anymore? What can you do with that? I mean, unless you have a specific job like a lawyer, which my mom is that. So for her, she need to go to college, right? But if that's not you, if you don't have that specific job, what the heck are you doing? I mean, come on. But that's beside the point. That's a completely different topic, a completely different story. For now though, we'll just say El Salvador will most likely be looked at as extremely smart for their decision once BTC starts to spike like crazy, and it will increase adoption across the country. In more developed countries than El Salvador, with higher functioning political and economic systems, Bitcoin will be much easier to adopt. It is significantly more challenging for a country like El Salvador, there's no question about that, but that just means it's going to take more time. When the media is already giving up, I certainly am not, and El Salvador is not either. They're acting like it's already a done deal. It didn't work, it's a failed experiment, not even close. They're still continuing to go with it. It is still continuing to happen. The leader is still continuing to support and invest. So they're calling it quits, the media, for El Salvador before El Salvador even wants to do that themselves. And they're not going to, El Salvador is. They're not. They will continue to believe in it, and rightfully so, because El Salvador understands, just like Michael Saylor, that if you make a smart bet and you are willing to stick to your convictions on it, there's a strong chance that it will go up over time and you will be rewarded massively from it. Doge going to the moon, says SHIB Anwar. I happen to like the sound of that. By the way, we got a bunch of people tweeting out Matt Wallace Dogecoin. I did a fun giveaway on my channel, or on my YouTube, or what is it? Come on, same thing. I did a fun giveaway on my Twitter today, and been sending a lot of Dogecoin out. That was obviously cool. I enjoyed having that, and by the way, I sent out a bunch of Dogecoin. There's still more I'm going to be sending out, so I'm not done yet if you haven't received yours yet. Just now, a quick update on that. Doge Heart ETC says Cultural Politics 2.0. ETC, by the way, been doing well. Let's actually take a look at that. I'm actually curious what ETC is doing at this exact moment in time. It's probably up a decent ways, especially considering the entire market is green today, in part because some of the rumors are starting to swirl that the dollar is going to be continuing on the same path of really bad inflation. No one likes that. The government has been doing a really bad job for a long time. The fact that people have been willing to put up with this for so long, we are now at a point where we're going to be paying like $1 trillion a year in interest. That's so ridiculous because the US dollar is not only having inflation, but now we have to pay $1 trillion a year in interest. So all those people who said, oh yes, we need these big government spending programs, who applauded that, who said it was good, Now, how do you feel about having to spend $1 trillion a year on interest? Does that make you happy? Couldn't we be spending, I don't know, that $1 trillion on all those things that you wanted without having to have had that insane inflation, without the government having to have screwed so many things up by spending so much of that money in ridiculous places? If you really believe having a strong government and continuing to do these massive social programs is smart, then tell that to the $1 trillion a year that we're going to have to be paying in interest soon. We can't get out of that either. There's no way out of it. That is the consequence, and it's very real. It'll have massive impact on our lives. It'll be extremely negative. It'll make the people who were supposed to be helped by those policies worse off overall. And the fact that anyone applauded that, anyone cheered it, and people still do, just goes to show you there are so many people out there who truly don't understand the system. And if anyone tells you you're a bad person because you disagree with their political stance, if they have a political stance of wanting to spend more money, then just simply show them the inflation and show them what's happening with the interest rate. Right now, just to give you an idea, the entire budget is around $4 trillion. The amount the US brings in taxes is around $3 trillion. So literally 25% of the entire budget, which already is above the amount we're bringing in, is literally just going to go to paying off interest on the debt in only a matter of years here, because it continues to go up, right? So this is probably the worst possible situation for our economy. And the fact that people are just going to pretend like, I didn't see that coming. Yes, you didn't, because you're an idiot. You should have seen that coming. And now, granted, if you're watching this show and you didn't see that coming, you know what? We'll give the benefit of the doubt here. We'll say, all right, maybe you just didn't hear about it. Maybe you shouldn't know about it. But now, hopefully, you're on the same page that we should have never done those things. And no matter how much political pressure there was to do them, it was still a bad idea. As long as we can all agree on that moving forward, then hopefully our country will be able to make some smart decisions and some smart things that will put us in a better position to where at least we won't have a $2 trillion a year. I mean, it could get way worse, right? We could be at the point $2 trillion a year in interest alone. That's not impossible. That could happen in our lifetimes if we continue along the same path. So we just have to be very careful. I mean, oh wow, look at that. Chanel said Matt Wallace 2024. Oh gosh, that would be so bad. I would honestly hate being a politician. That would be terrible. People just hate you all the time. I mean, even if you have smart policies, it doesn't matter. Oh, look at that. Oh, wow. They shut us down. See, that's what happens when you talk about politics. You get shut down like this. How dare us? And by the way, just to be very clear, Republicans and Democrats both have spent too much. I am not just saying one party or the other. It probably appears as if I'm calling out Democrats more than Republicans simply because over the last few years, we have seen it under Joe Biden, him spending a lot of money. And therefore, it looks like I'm calling that out. And yes, it is true. That was bad. But it was also bad when Trump did it. And he spent too much. That's a fact. He did. He spent approximately $8 trillion over his 8 years, additional above the deficit. Joe Biden's already spent like $6 trillion. It's only been a couple of years. Then we look at presidents before, even before that. We had Bush spending way too much. We had Obama spending way too much. So it's not just one side or the other. It is continuing to be both sides of the aisle that are spending way too much and causing massive problems, and we need to call it out. I want to really stress that as much as I can. I hate having to talk about politics, but when the government's doing such a bad job that even Matt Wallace has to call them out, that's how you know we need change. Because I would much rather just talk about cryptocurrency. That would be way more fun for me. But we have to, of course, bring it up occasionally. It is what it is. It is what it is. I mean, and yeah, you can say, okay, this policy was good, that policy is good, this president did this well, this president did that well. Sure, you can say all of that stuff. But at the end of the day, if what a president is doing and what a government is doing is causing us to have to pay $1 trillion a year in interest, that was a bad presidency or a bad government or whatever you want to call it. No matter what, you cannot get around that fact. It ended poorly. The net result of what they did is going to massively harm us. And we have to deal with that regardless of if we want to or not. It just sucks. You're in the dark. I know, but you can still hear me. I'm about to end the live in like a minute here. Unfortunately, this is how it works. They literally shut you down. The second you start talking about politics, they shut you down. Oh gosh, the system is coming for me. It's happening. Twitter gave away thanks, says Michael. But you can still hear me. It's all that matters, right? Taters and Eggs says facts. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I think all of us here, we can agree together that we just want to simply see the government doing the right thing. It doesn't matter what party it is, as long as they're making smart decisions when it comes to the budget. That's the most important thing, because all the social policies will not matter 5 years after that person's president. It could change, it can do this, it doesn't matter. All the other things they do will not matter 5 years from now. The only thing that will actually have a long-term impact, besides, I guess you could argue, foreign policy, of what a president and administration does is how much money they spend compared to how much money they bring in. And if they do a bad job on that, that's the only thing that they should really truly be judged harshly on, because everything else can be fixed. That right there is going to have massive ramifications and implications that oftentimes cannot easily be fixed. So that's the most important thing, and I wish everyone would realize that. Only some of us do right now, though. I hope that changes. Hopefully it does. Anyway, I'm Matt Wallace. This is Final Stand, and I will see you in the next video, even though you may not see me if they shut down my video again. All right, later. See, I didn't even have to move because there's no camera. I could just say this and not do anything.